This conference will now be recorded.
Repeat your question once again.
Sir, actually, let's say 10 checks have been issued. Out of 10 checks, 5 checks are cleared, and that is also showing in the in bank. So, how to find the difference checks in between books and as per bank?
Let's say 10 checks are issued. Out of 10 checks,
Yes,
let me not put half to eliminate the confusion. I'll say 6 checks are cleared.
6 checks are cleared, sir.
Okay. Now you want to know how do you identify which 6 checks are cleared in the bank? Is this what you want to say?
And I want to know about that. 6 checks are cleared, okay, but how to see 4 different checks that
Where?
are not cleared? Because
How
as
do
per
you
manual bench, yeah,
how do you identify which are the 4 checks that are not cleared?
cleared, yes, sir.
See, normally what is going to happen if you put your accounting here, because first entry will get recorded in accounting.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, and then you have banking.
Yes,
What I'll put uh, in accounting, let me put this. So check number one, check number two, like this, there are 10 checks.
10 checks, sir.
In banking, let's say, not 10 checks are cleared, only 6 we were talking about.
Yes,
Let's say this
yes,
is missing, this is missing, this is missing,
yes,
this is also missing.
meeting, yeah.
Okay, assuming that check number one is amounting 100. Let's say this is 200, this is 1000. This is 100, this is 300, 100, 300, 500, 600, 700, 900.
Yes,
Are these two clear?
that is clear, sir.
Now here, point number one, when we record check issued entries, first we will post entry
Bank
in accounting.
accounting.
In accounting, we will use bank sub accounts
Sir, yes, so
for check issues. Okay, third point, when we receive bank statement, we will
reconcile
reconcile the
statement,
statement with
book,
accounting.
accounting.
So when you're reconciling the statement with accounting, for checks, we will match the check number in books with check number in statement.
Right.
Okay. In your bank statement, if it is a check issue related to transaction, bank will represent the check number whichever is cleared or whichever is presented in the bank for clearing.
Yeah.
Now, point number 5. Whatever the check is appearing in the bank statement, we will move it from bank sub GL to bank main
Main
GL.
GL.
Point number 6. Whatever the check is not appearing in statement will remain open or unreconciled in bank sub GL.
Right.
If you find any particular check is appearing on the bank statement, you are going to move it from bank sub account to bank main account. If any check which is not appearing on the bank statement, this will remain open or unreconciled in your bank sub account. You are not going to move it to main account. Now, once you complete your BRS or once you complete your bank reconciliation statement, let's say after completing BRS, reconciled entries will appear in main GL and unreconciled entries will appear in sub GL. Clearer?
Clear. But sir, at the time of processing MBRS, actually, as for clear items, we have to put all these things in the bank reconciliation statement. There actually, I find difficulty.
In manual bank
FF67.
reconciliation, what we need to do, it's a manual intervention, it's a manual interference by the user. What will user do? He will take the GL dump. He will download the FHELL03 of bank sub account. Let's say check outgoing account GL dump he will download. At the same time, he will
Okay.
download the statement from the bank. So he will have GL data on the Excel sheet. He will also have the bank statement on the Excel sheet.
Hmm.
Okay. And based on this, they will use their Excel skill set and all to bring the data into a separate column. Let's say whatever the check numbers that are represented in the bank statement, they'll bring that into a separate column by applying some formulas and all.
Okay. 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 Understood. Understood. Okay.
And then they will do a VLOOKUP or whatever the way that the user finds it easier. He'll try to match which check number is there on the bank statement and what check numbers are there in the bank GL account. Whatever
Those
the
are
matching that he is
those are
able to
not
do it,
cleared.
correct.
Those are not uncleared. Actually, they will keep it aside. Okay. Understood.
Yeah, because end of the day, what we need to do, whatever the transaction is appearing on the bank statement, the same transaction
That
must appear on the bank main account.
okay.
Okay, in your bank statement, as we know, there are two type of entries. One is the direct entry, the other one is clearing entry.
Clearing it.
For direct entry, it's a direct posting, a debit credit you are giving at the time of posting itself. For clearing entries, you're not giving debit credit. You will only provide the main account debit credit. For the sub account, you will be using the existing open item to be cleared instead of the transfer posting. For that, you will use this matching concept. How do you match the open item, or how do you identify the open item based on the assignment column, document number, reference whatsoever? Clear?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Any other questions, anyone?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, we will do automatic payment, right? F-53.
Yes.
While doing automatic payment, we will give house bank and if we enter like main bank GL, it is speaking, sir.
Your automatic payment program will always pick the GL account from your bank determination. Whatever the GL account that is getting picked up when you perform automatic payment program, this is based on account determination. When you talk about account determination, let's say I go to FBZP. In FBZP, you will have bank determination. If I take our company code DEIN, take your company code, go to bank accounts. If you go to bank account, here you would have updated the bank sub account. What is your company code?
VVIN, sir.
Select VVIN, bank accounts. Here you have updated main account. This main account should be assigned in the house bank account ID creation, not automatic payment creation. While automatic configuration, this is clearly sub account. If you see the heading, this is clearly representing a bank sub account, not bank main account. So you should have used outgoing. If this is payment method related to check, this GL account must be check outgoing. When you create the bank GL accounts, you are following a logic, main account and sub account. Correct? Main account we are telling ending with 0, sub account you are telling check incoming 1, check incoming outgoing 2, transfer incoming 3, outgoing 4. Correct? Based on your payment method, the relevant, the sub account must be given here. Now here you should have given which GL account? Ending with what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ashok. I think it's network issue. So here you should have given 4. Check outgoing account must be given here. I'll save this. Clear? This is also another point that you may get questioned in your interview. Where do you maintain, or how system is identifying a bank GL account while doing automatic payment program? You have to tell this is based on the account determination maintained in FBZP. Any other questions?
Sorry, sir, some network issue. I disconnected.
Okay, so what I told,
Uh,
you will be updating bank GL account in the bank determination under bank accounts. Here, the configuration of
Uh,
yours is showing 0.
yes.
Okay, this is not bank main account, this is clearly bank sub account. Bank sub account means your incoming and outgoing accounts. Correct?
yes, sir.
Now, if your payment method is C, what is payment method C according to you? Is this bank transfer or bank check?
Bank check.
For check, sub accounting will be check incoming or check outgoing.
Check incoming, outgoing. Outgoing.
Automatic payment program you're using for issuing check or receiving a check?
Issuing check.
So which account to be used? What will be the last digit?
10 or not, like 11 it will come, one series. Check
Last digit.
incoming.
If you put check incoming, this is like you're issuing check or you're receiving a check.
No, 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 no. Check outgoing, sir. This is check issuing.
What,
This is
what is the last digit of the GL account?
check issuing. Four,
GLs are
sir.
appearing on your screen. 4 or 2?
Two, sir.
Okay, you'll have to update 2. HDFC check outgoing. Whatever the GL account that is updated here, this GL account will be picked up when you perform APP. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
The main account you will have to update in the house bank creation, but rest and all you will be using sub accounts only.
Okay. In F-53, if you like, if we enter that house bank, it this GL only it will reflect, sir.
That is because at this house bank, this is what you have updated.
Okay.
Because for this house
Sir.
bank account ID, this is the GL account that is configured. Whenever you put this, house bank and account ID, system is not going to give you the field for GL account. It automatically picks up a GL account from this combination.
Okay, sir.
Oh,
Understood.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, anyone? No
Mm,
questions?
Ajay, FI01 you create bank account or FI12 house bank master data. I'm getting confused in that. As I know, like because I don't have access for the Fury. So in HANA you can do FI12 underscore H bank through you can create both master data. But I am really confused between FI01. What's a bank account master data or FI12 house bank? I'm really confused between both in ECC.
No, this is same in S4HANA also. No change in this.
There is
When you talk about banks,
actually I'm
we are
confused between because like in S4 and FI12 underscore H bank you create instead of creating using FI01 FI12 you can use just one code and create like house bank master data. But I was like really confused what comes under FI01 and what comes under FI12. I didn't did the config because I don't have access. Can you explain me if you don't mind actually?
yeah. So let's say when you're talking about a bank, we are basically talking about house bank.
Yeah.
Okay, this house bank is our bank. Okay, like when you say our bank, I'm representing a company's bank. If you're talking about whatever your company code bank account is nothing but house bank in SAP. To create a house bank, you need to update bank name, address, IFSC code, or bank key. Bank name, address, and then IFSC code we have to give in the bank name.
Okay.
Okay, and then you need to give account ID. Here, bank account number and GL account. I'm not writing the complete information, I'm writing only the key information from this particular setting.
Okay.
In the this is first one is house bank, second one is account ID. In house bank, you are giving bank name, bank IFSC code, and bank key. In the
Okay.
account ID, you are only giving account number. If you are operating an account, your account will contain an account number. This account number and this account is connected to which GL account in your system. That is what you are going to maintain in the account ID.
Okay, and which one is the master data then? Master data
Yeah.
of the house bank.
Your master data will become house bank. Master data is nothing but address of your bank. Address and IFSC code is represented as master data in your SAP for a bank. Whenever you create any house bank, let's say if I go to FI12,
Hmm.
I pick any one company. If I go to house bank, let me try to add a new entry. Let's say I am opening a bank account in Bank of America. I'll say BOFA. I'll say bank country is US. Bank key. There will be a bank key for Bank of America. Let's say Bank of America 12378. Clear?
Yeah.
Now I'll click on create. The moment I click on create, system will ask me to update the address of this.
Okay.
So what I'll do, I'll put Bank of America, US. I'll put Bank Street and I'll say New York. I'll say New York.
So this is
Okay.
the FI12 this is one is the master data of the our
House bank.
bank, house bank. That's client's bank. And what
Now
comes
on the
the
pop-up, what information you're getting on the pop-up screen?
pop-up screen?
This is your pop-up window which you got. Correct? When you
Yeah.
click on create,
Huh.
what information is there here?
This is you adding the address actually of the bank,
Address
country,
and
bank key,
bank
bank
country, bank
branch.
key, bank address. This alone is exclusively called as bank master.
Okay.
FI01 is only about this pop-up which I'm moving on my screen.
But you came through the FI12, no, actually.
This is our bank. If you're
Okay.
talking about your bank, you are
Huh.
treating this as house bank.
Okay.
Okay, now there are other banks. Let's say you will have vendor banks.
Okay.
When I talk about vendor bank, let's say you need to make payment to one of your supplier. Your supplier said,
Okay.
I don't want check, please send money to my bank account. For which
Okay.
you need to do the bank transfer.
Yes.
For doing the payment with the bank transfer, what you need to do, you need to update. Again, you need vendor bank details here, vendor account number, vendor bank country, vendor bank key, all this information.
Yes.
For that, let's say, let me save this, then I'll show you. One sec, it's getting reconnected to the server. So meanwhile, when you have to make any payment to a vendor bank account, in the vendor master data, in short, in your BP master data, you need to update vendor bank account information. Is that right?
Yeah, right.
Because system is going to pick up your vendor master bank account information, whatever is updated. There, whatever you are updating is not called as house bank. In vendor master, you are going to update bank master,
That
wherein
belongs to the
your
vendor.
yes,
That
which
belongs
belongs
to
to the
vendor.
vendor.
Yeah.
Now in system, for that bank master or for that particular bank account which your vendor is operating with, System will expect bank key and the address of it.
Okay.
For example, if your vendor is also holding bank account in the same branch, possible or not?
Possible.
Now you're also holding the account in the same bank, same branch. So you have already set up a master while creating your bank in the system. So if
Yes.
your vendor is also having the account in the same bank, you do not need to create bank master because any master data is created one time. Masters will not be duplicated.
Okay.
Entry, sorry, this is not US region. So in case if your vendor account has the bank account in the same one, when you go to vendor master record while adding the bank account information, it will not give any message because the moment you put bank country, bank key, say, now here it is telling bank key must contain only numbers. This is because in US there is a law that bank key cannot be a numeric, alphanumeric. Is that right?
Yes.
So what I am trying to do here is, here I am trying to put alphanumeric, which system is not accepting. So I'll take some numeric number. No check digit procedure is planned for bank number with 8 digits. Now whatever the country specific things that you have in system, there are already prerequisite checkpoints already enabled, which means in US no bank will contain the bank key with alphanumeric code. So if you try to put that alphanumeric code, system is telling that this is not allowed.
Okay.
So it is telling no check digit procedure is planned for bank numbers with 8 digits. For USA, the check digit procedure of the 9-digit Fedwire routing number sometimes is implemented. So it is telling your bank key is probably 9 digits. It is telling bank key is invalid.
Actually, it's a 12 actually, Ajay.
11, 12. No, bank key is no longer than 9 digits.
Oh, IFSC code. It's not
What letter it starts from?
Banky.
I think somebody has already created bank key.
US Bank down actually.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bank key is invalid. This activates the check validation of the bank key. Check the entry. You may also need to check the settings. So this is talking about some settings. For that, what we need to do, SPRO, go to cross application component, bank directory, country specific, not this one. Somewhere you will find settings related to all this. Cross application,
You can show me within India.
okay. General application, not of fiscal, DME engine.
The this setting is native because it's a client. It's created on the client.
No, somebody would have changed. It's okay. Let's say if I try to create under India,
Hmm.
if I create, let's say something like this, I'll create. If I go to create option, I'll put Bank of America, I'll put this one, and Swift code, I'll take the same. I'll click on save. Okay, it has become my house bank now. When I go to FI01,
Hmm.
FI01, this is my bank master. This is only create a bank. This is bank master. Left hand side, whatever you have house bank, this is through configuration.
This is the difference. I'm not able to understand what is creating FI01, what is creating on FI12 actually, and I was
In your development system or in your configuration client, let's say what will happen. I'll put BOFA 363263. 363263. If I click enter, I'm getting a message at the bottom. What is the message?
bank. I was watching on the iPhone, so something already exists.
This
Bank
is
of.
already existing. Why this is already existing? If I go to display mode of this, and if I display this, now if I display this, if I click on change here, and if I display this, are these the same? This pop-up screen that you see on the left hand side and the display bank, are they same? Or
They are the same.
when you configure house bank, this pop-up screen will update your bank master. Where do you configure, where do you do the configuration? Development, quality, production?
Development.
You configure in development. Development which client? In development you have two
100.
clients that you will be 100.
100.
Where you will test in development?
200 or maybe 110.
Okay, I'll take 200. Then you'll go to quality, then you'll go to production. Is this
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Now there are 2 points. One is your house bank, the other one is bank master.
Yes.
This is your FI12, bank master is FI01. Clear?
Okay.
When you create house bank FI12 during the configuration, at the same time you are also updating the bank address. The bank address is nothing but bank master. So that is why in your development system, this you assume as development system because this is where you did configuration, correct? Since you did configuration in this client, you are able to see bank master and the house bank both are showing the correct address, same address. The moment you want to shift or the moment you want to move this bank master or house bank to the development 200, what you are going to do, you are going to move this TR, correct?
Yes.
Because house bank is a configuration. This config, when you move to development 200, it will come here. Bank master will not come. Because master data, we will not be able to transport. Master data or the transaction data is client specific. Development 100 master data will remain only in development 100. Development 200 master will remain only in 200. Similarly, quality master is quality specific, production master is production specific. There is no way you can transport this. You need to create masters separately in each and every client. Now here, when you move the configuration from development 100 to development 200, in development 200, when you open this, let's say I moved it, I'm inside the development 200. Let's assume you have something called address here.
Yes.
If you go to address, whatever you are able to see here, everything will be blank in development 200.
Yes.
System will configure house bank, account ID, country, account key. This address selection will be blank. For this address selection to get auto updated, what you will do in the development system. Now what I'll do, I'll come to change mode. I'll try to, so we cannot delete this. Okay, now I will come back. Assume that this has been transported to the development 200 or quality, wherever. I go inside, I'll open this. When I open this, if I check the address, do you find bank address or it is blank?
It's a blank.
When you move this house bank to any target client, whether it is development 200, quality, production, your address will be like this. It will not be transported because this is master data. Once you configure, once you move this to quality system or any other system, even to the production system, you have to come to this screen. Create a bank. Here you need to put the bank country, IN, bank key, whatever it is. And then you need to click on enter. So since this is already there, once you go inside the enter, here you need to update bank name. Let's say I'll put, here if you see, Bank of America. This now I'm not updating this from the FI12 screen. I am updating from FI01.
Okay.
36 and same bank key. I'll take it as Swift code. Now I'll save it. When I saved it, I did not get any TR. I just got a message, bank saved. Correct? Because it is a master data.
Yes.
Clear? Now I will go back. Currently, if you see in FI12 there is no address, but I updated the address in FI01. I'll go back. I'll reopen this Bank of America. Now do you find the address updated?
Yeah.
Now is this updated through config or through master? From where it has come here?
From the master data it came.
Yes,
FI01.
FI01. I
Why
updated
they
address in
make
FI01.
why they make so much complicated here? So now on S4HANA you can create on FI12 underscore HBank. Is it will be easy?
No,
This
it is the
concept.
same. There is no change. Whatever that I have done here, it is exactly the same in your ECC. It is exactly the same in S4HANA. There is no change in it. This is not related to account ID. This is only related to house bank. Because your address is updated in the house bank, not in the account ID. If I open my account ID here, if I click on create, it will take me to the Fury application. Now let's say I'll put this information. Let's say opening date, some date. I'll put company code DEIN.
You came through transaction and WBC over here?
No, I just opened account ID. This will redirect you here. You have an option called create
Okay.
bank account. When you click on this, you will be
Okay.
automatically redirected to that NWBC.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll go to house bank. This is the account ID. Sorry, this is the bank key. In this, it is asking me to put country is India, bank key is this. When I press enter, automatically it has detected what is your SWIFT key, what is your bank number, what is the bank name. Correct?
Yes.
If I come down, you are able to see the bank address, city, street and all.
Yes.
Now this information is coming from the same bank master. Now I'll change the SWIFT code to, this is FI01, whatever I'm doing, I'll put SWIFT. Okay, now city it's showing as New York. I'll change this to city as a city. What else it is showing? Street. Street as street I'll put. Save it. Clear?
Yes.
Now I'll close this. Let me simply cancel this. Now I'll create account ID once again. Some opening date, DEIN. This is India. Now Swift code, if you see, it has become Swift. City has become city. Street has
Yes.
become street. This I updated here. Because your master, you can change in each and every client. Development, quality, production, your master data will be maintained separately. So there is something called cutover activity. So your bank master is one of your cutover activity. So whatever the house banks that you have created, for all the house banks, the address and the Swift code bank key must be created manually in production system, because since this is the master record, when you transport or when you move house bank configuration to the target system, only the house bank settings will come. Bank master will not be transported. It has to be created manually.
So you're saying FI01, you're creating the house bank master data, and FI2 you're creating account numbers under the house bank?
Yes.
Am I right?
You have house bank, you have account ID, you have bank master, three things. Okay, this is your, I'll put ECC, I'll put S4HANA. In ECC this is config, in S4HANA this is config, account ID config here, account ID master data here. This is anyways master data here. This is also master data here.
So now my question is here. House bank is and bank master data. That's a different two things. That is where I'm getting confused to what is the house bank and what is the bank master data. So house bank, just you giving the name of the bank, and under the house bank the address and everything belongs to the house bank only. Is that right?
House bank
I'm
is your bank.
okay.
Okay, and master data, bank master is basically created for your vendor banks, because you may be opening or you may be dealing your bank accounts maybe with three banks.
So
Let's
you
say,
saying the bank master data, there is so many vendors. How can you create like bank master data for every vendor?
let me put your bank supplier bank. Let's say I'll put your bank as HDFC, Bank of America, ICICI. You are operating three banks from your
Yeah.
company. Is this clear?
Yes, clear.
Now you have different suppliers. Your suppliers are using HDFC, Bank of America, ICICI. They are also using SBI. They are also using, let's say, Canara Bank. They are also using
Okay.
Axis Bank.
For
Assuming that they are
them,
also using these banks. Now, when you are using your supplier banks, do you have control over supplier bank accounts? Can we tell you, please give me only this account number, this branch?
no, you can't say. But at the same time, the question you saying for the DME structure, you need to do the mapping with BI to format for the all these banks because when supplies related to these banks.
No, your bank is part of configuration.
Okay.
This is
But
your
to
house bank.
but to the send to the statement to the HDFC like clear the payment. So in the BI structure, I'm talking about for the DME config, you need to take this BI to format from the HDFC, Bank of America, ICICI Bank, SBI, and Canara and Axis from the all the banks. Is that what you're saying it?
No.
And we need to do mapping with HDFC, means HD.
When you are creating any payment format, any payment file, you are creating payment file for transferring funds from your account or to receive funds in your account.
Transferring fund to the vendor
From where the funds are transferred, from which account? Your account, vendor
from
account?
the HDFC my account.
Your account. So
Yeah.
your BAI or your DME, whatever it is based on your account, not based on vendor account. Okay, if you are sending funds from your account, let's say according to Bank of America, Bank of America will give you a format. Please send me the data in this format so that I will send the money from your account to the respective partner account.
Okay, so we don't have any concern how the bank sending to the clearing the like check with like online payment to HDFC like if that's vendor's bank, that's not our concern. So our concern only do the mapping when you're doing the payment and in the BI2 format. That's a DME structure.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Now I'll go to BP. In vendor, for example, I'll take any one vendor account.
Uh,
In vendor account, if I go to change mode, you will find a tab called payment transactions. If you go
yes.
to payment transactions, let me delete this, whatever it is. Now here you need to update vendor bank account. If you look at this, you have HDFC, Bank of America, ICICI. Let's say your vendor account, your vendor is using Axis Bank. This is possible
Okay.
or not?
Yes, possible.
Now, as per your configuration, you have not created any house bank for house Axis. You have not created because you are not operating any account in Axis. You will create a house bank where you are operating your bank account. Your vendor has got no link that he should also operate the account in same of yours. When he is creating his account in Axis Bank, you are going to put one ID, let's say one, country India. Here vendor house bank account ID must be given. Let's say the IFSC code. Let's say Axis, something like this. The moment I put this, if I hit enter, what system is going to look at? It is going to look at the bank master. Whether with this country, with this bank key, if there is any master available. If there is any bank master available, it will update the data from that bank automatically. It will not give this pop-up.
Okay.
Now it has given this pop-up. When I put this, you are getting the pop-up. Clear?
Yes.
Now what I'll do, I'll change this. I'll put this bank key. For this bank key, bank master is already available.
Yes.
Now I'll
Because
change
it's our
this.
bank.
Yeah. When I put this, are you getting any pop-up? Is
Yes.
this allowing you to update the bank master? No, right?
Because I'm not able to see the whole screen because I'm on the iPhone, so I'm not able to see the message.
No, not at the bottom. Now here you got a pop-up screen, right?
Yes.
This is coming because the bank master does not exist. It's a new master. And if I try to give this one, you're not getting any pop-up because this master is already available in the system.
So this you said like payment transaction. This bank key is belongs to the
System
vendor.
requires the bank information only. Your
Okay.
vendor is holding bank account in this particular bank. Now for
Okay.
you to initiate the payment, you need to know the bank key of it, address of it, SWIFT code of it, correct?
Yeah, but in that case, anyone can change here now in payment transaction the bank detail if this belongs
No,
to the vendor.
nobody can change it because they can only put the bank key. When they put bank key, this information is automatically picked up. If it is a new one, it will be created. But this will be with the limited people who will be accessed to create the bank master. If I am updating a bank which is a new one, I'll have to send a request to the master data team to update this bank master. For that, I need a screenshot from the vendor stating that please remit payment to this particular account. I cannot just like that say this is the bank master, please find out the address from Google and then update it. Nobody will do it. It must be provided by the supplier. Your vendor will give you all this information. Please remit payment to below bank account information. This information is used for updating the bank. Because tomorrow once you initiate the payment, vendor might say we have not received the payment. There may
Okay.
be a typo error, there may be some mistake with which you will end up transferring to wrong account.
Yes.
So for that, you will always consider your vendor email communication or vendor invoice copy for updating bank master. No other source. Strictly vendor communicated bank address will be used for updating the bank master.
Okay, I got it. So to collect this data for the config, you need to talk with the client vendor
No,
or
this is
client will.
master data. We are as a consultant, we are not responsible for this.
Okay.
End user will take care of this.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, you will be
We'll do
responsible
that.
only if it is your company's bank account. That is where you need to set up house bank and account ID. Even in that case, your user will provide you the bank address and all.
Okay.
Sir, we will do that in FK02, right, sir?
Which one?
Bank changes like FK02, we will do that.
No, F502.
FI.
Yeah,
Sir, what is FK02, sir? Vendor master change, sir.
that is vendor master change.
Okay, in vendor master change also we will update bank details, right, sir?
There you can change bank account number. This is bank address.
Okay, fine, sir.
Okay, this is your vendor. In vendor, what you are giving? You are giving bank key, correct? Country and bank key.
Yes, sir. Yes. Understood, sir.
Yeah. With this country and bank key, address is updated in FI01. The remaining information, account number and all, directly updated in the vendor master,
Sir,
FK02.
simply we can say FI12 is the configuration for FI01, correct, sir?
No,
With FI12 configuration only, we can create bank accounts, sir. Correct, sir. We can
no,
create a number of n number of bank accounts.
no. FI01 does not require configuration.
Yes, sir. But
Now,
it
if
should
I,
be before FI01.
Without FY12, we cannot create any bank FI01, right, sir?
No, that is wrong. I'll create my name Ajay123.
No, no, no,
Is there
no.
any house bank with this?
No, sir.
Let me go to create. Ajay123 bank 28 whatsoever. Everywhere I'll put my name. Everywhere I'll put my name. I'll create. Am I able to create?
Yes, sir.
This is master data. You can create the way you want. Whatever you want, you can create.
Okay, understood.
Okay, because this is not related to your bank account. If it is related to your bank account, you will be creating as per your bank account. But you may be having vendor payments, various other payments to be initiated, right? Let's say you have to make payment to tax authorities. Now you cannot go and pay cash to the cash authorities. You cannot go and give check to the cash authorities. What they will tell, any government officials, they will tell, this is our bank account. Please transfer the funds to our account. Agree?
Agrees.
Now for that, your tax authorities bank account, whatever it is, they will share the details. That information you will create as bank master.
Yes.
If you are holding account in that particular bank, then you will create the house bank. Otherwise, only bank master.
Okay. Understood, sir.
Yeah.
Ajay sir,
Yes.
I updated that already like in my system. Sub GL already updated in bank account, but still system it takes.
No, your voice is not coming, Ashok.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello. Well, I cannot hear you, Ashok, if you're talking. Okay. Any questions meanwhile? Anyone?
So regarding
SAP,
Sir, in the
BRS,
One minute.
accounts,
Go ahead, Suhail.
like
One
so
one
regarding
minute, Silas. Yeah.
regarding MBRS configuration, so we have done the configuration based on the incoming check outgoing account, sorry, incoming account, and we are given some other GL, right, for our testing purpose. So if it is really if a customer, we are giving the customer account in that configuration setting, in that assigning configuration, right, there we need to select in the sub ledger,
Sub account.
like
Sub ledger
sub
account,
account.
correct. Sub ledger.
Okay.
And then you need to put the posting key related to customer 1 or 11, debit or credit. And then you need to put the respective customer account.
Okay.
But normally, this majoritarily we don't recommend this because it will be a tricky part to pass these entries.
Okay.
If something goes wrong, if entry is posted incorrectly, you will not have the clear picture. You will not understand what is happening with your customer account because your customer account is one of the sensitive account. When you want to collect the money from your customer will ask you to provide the statement. Correct?
Yes.
Now, when you're providing statement to the customer, you need to make sure the entries are represented in a proper way.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
we can do that as
Yeah.
well, but that is not majorly recommended. Most of the clients, what they do, they will pass this customer receipt entries separately and then they will pass the BRS separately.
Okay, so BRS passing that second line, incoming or outgoing, that will be a standard line. So that's the second line. What in real time we will be using? We will be having a separate account for that.
Which is second line?
The clearing original entry before the BRS entry, original entry, we will be posting, right?
Yeah, correct. Hmm.
In for example, a check incoming bank account, we are used some other account for our testing purpose, right? For that original entry, I'm asking that's a credit line. What account we need to use in real time?
The same we have used. We have not used any other account. The same account we used here.
No, for credit we are used some other account, right? For check incoming we are not used. For check
No,
incoming we
no.
are used the check incoming account.
Same account we have not used some other account. If you see this is where you mapped the bank GL accounts.
Yes.
Right? When you use anything related to check incoming, system will pick check incoming only. This account only will get picked up.
Yeah, that's I am okay. In every 50 we will be doing the first entry, right? That main entry,
Ha ha
original
ha.
entry.
Okay. Right. There for the testing purpose, I have used some entry because for testing purpose,
Yeah.
what we need is you need one open item in the bank sub account.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
For that
So
purpose,
in
I
real
posted
time,
some in real time. It will be the actual receipt entry, actual payment entry. If it is received from customer, your customer account will be credit, bank check incoming account will be debit. If it is for vendor, your bank check outgoing account will be credit, vendor account will be debit. You're right.
okay, so if that's a customer or vendor, so in configuration also it will be same. Like, we will not be using subledger, right? The bank account only we will be selecting in configuration. If it comes for customer vendor account.
Yeah. It is the same bank sub account only you will be selecting. BRS will come into picture after posting the original entry.
Okay. No. Yeah, I'm asking in configuration level. We are selecting that 01, right? While doing the configuration assigning the
Correct.
in assigning the posting rules, will be the posting area will be selected one. Now,
That
if we are
is
selecting posting two, what is the scenario for that one? If the customer vendor account we are selecting for original entry, we'll need to select posting two, posting area.
yes. If you are posting there, it will be 2. But that 2 will be used for customer, not for vendor, because that you are posting to because you are coming to know the customer receipt only from the statement. But vendor payment you are initiating, right?
Yeah, yes.
So for customer payment, we may be using it, not for vendor payment. If you are using it, then you need to instruct properly to your customer that in your bank statement, let's say you have tag 61, tag 86. In the note to
Yeah,
payee,
yes.
they must represent their customer code.
Okay. So what we are selecting the posting area in configuration one or two, it depends upon the original entry, that customer line, right?
No, if you are selecting one, it will be the bank reconciliation entry.
Okay.
If you are selecting two, it will be the bank receipt entry directly.
So the original entry will not be posted.
Original entry will be posted.
Posted in customer account also.
Yes,
Incoming
it
account,
will.
debit customer account.
You can decide whether to take it to incoming account or directly take it to the main account.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So that incoming account the main account will be credit in original entry, and BRS account it will be debit, right? Customer.
not BRS account will not come into picture. Straight away you're hitting to the customer account.
Okay.
But this approach normally is not followed unless your client receipt entries are in accurate format from the customer. If your customer is making the payment, but you don't know any information about the customer, if your customer is unable to represent his customer code, let's say you are my
Yeah.
customer and you are sending money to me. When you are sending money to me, what I want in the tax 86, did I update this anywhere statement? Okay, in tag 86 I want you to input your customer code. your customer code which is created in my account, my system.
Okay.
Only then I can determine, I can interpret this is your customer account. Based on this customer account, I will put or I will use something called search string to identify that this is the customer account.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Ajay, in USA, client is not using logbox anymore now because that's for like now because of APP online payment. The client is not using logbox. Is that right?
That I need to check and confirm because I've not worked for the US client in the recent past. I'll check and
Okay.
tell you on that.
Okay. And as I know,
Yeah.
like US, they use like indirect taxes. So can you find out if they're using any other taxes in SAP?
Okay.
As I know, like indirect taxes is sales and purchase, but I don't know any other taxes they are working in SAP.
Okay, I will check. I'll tell you that.
Through the APP, you can do the incoming and outgoing payment both setup, na? Is that right,
Yes.
Ajay? Okay.
Yeah, that is right.
Okay, thank you.
One more dot on BRS. So this is what we are doing in our development system for configuration, whether the BRS executing is correctly or not. So in real time, the original entry will be posted by end user. So if that they have posted mismatch, so incoming into outgoing account like that, any mismatch that entry has been posted. The finally, if BRS is not tallied, the how the ticket will come to us directly, or will they reconcile in their side and they will be identified what kind of ticket we'll be receiving on this BRS.
As you said, if they say that the entries are posted and the entry is posted to the wrong account, if the entry is posted to wrong account, first of all, we need to see why the entry has gone to wrong account. So your entries are based on transaction types. If it is your manual BRS, your transaction type is a manual input by the user. If it is the electronic bank reconciliation, there is no manual intervention in the statement. Correct? Huh?
Yes.
Let's say I am talking about manual BRS where user had given NCHK in place of NTRF. Now, if the amount is matching, because in NCHK you can have plus and minus, in NTRF also you can have plus and minus.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if instead of NCHK positive, if I give NTRF positive, system will post the entry. If the amount is matching based on the algorithm and all, it will post the entry. It will clear the account from the other account, which is wrong. But normally hitting to the wrong GL account is very rare instance because you are passing these entries as clearing entries. All these clearing entries are based on interpretation algorithm based on the assignment matching, document number matching. Agree?
Yeah. But this is the BRS entry you're saying, right? The system
BRS
generated.
entry.
Yeah, I'm
Correct.
saying about the original entry, what the end user will be posted. So if that is a went wrong, when we are posting the BRS entry, the amount will not, the knockoff will not be done, right? So outgoing
Will not be done.
account will, yeah. So in that case, their side itself they will rectify while doing the bank reconciliation, or this can come as a ticket that it's not matching in the BRS like that.
First point, if they identify that the entry has gone to the wrong account, they will only rectify. They know that they need to reverse the entry. They need to repost it to the correct GL account.
Mm.
If they do not realize that this is posted to the wrong GL account, then they will tell that we posted the entry, this is the document number, but still we are unable to reconcile it. System is not clearing this. Then when you verify this, when you try to figure out what was the problem, you will encounter that okay, the entry is posted to the wrong GL account. Then you will tell that the entry is posted to the wrong account. Please reverse this entry, post the correct entry, and reprocess the bank statement. When I say reprocess, once the bank statement is processed, you have this one, right? FIBAN.
Yeah. Yes.
So you'll have to go to FIBAN and then pick that respective pending one, clear it, post it.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
So in our test case
Ajay
also
sir,
we will be
Ajay,
using FIBAN T code, right? if it is any
Yes.
scenario like this?
Yeah, you can use. If you go to
Okay.
FIBAN, here whatever is there, you can change the status. Let's say this is not posted. You'll go to edit, change status. You'll make it open. It will appear as red like this. This is not posted.
Okay.
Then you need to select this, click on post. When you click on post, then it is going to give a pop-up screen where you will get the process in foreground, right?
Yeah.
So that pop-up screen will come. You have to press enter, continue. If there are any errors, you rectify it manually and then post.
Okay. But in SM35 we give the background also, we can edit there itself. Anything
But
wrong happens.
SM35 will not have the storage for long
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
because it depends. Sometimes they'll not be raising immediately when they figure it out. They may see that okay, we will check and then we will send a ticket to SAP. Any
Hmm.
ticket, any support incident that they raise is chargeable. That you are aware, right?
No, sir. No, sir.
Let's say for any support, if you're working on any support project, your support is
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
fixed
Mandates.
billing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So if I'm raising a ticket, then you will say that on this ticket I worked for 3 hours. Please approve my
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now for all these simple silly things, the client also will instruct their users, do not raise tickets just like that to the SAP team.
Hmm.
Because they will tell that I received this ticket, I spent 3 hours for analysis.
Hmm. Yes.
So these points, the client also does not want to have it. So they will
Okay.
tell that. That is why in every client side there is something called CTM, core team member, or
Hmm.
super user, something like that. They'll put different namings depending on the company.
Okay.
First they will review, they will validate it if it is related to, if they know, if anybody knows how to fix it, or if the similar problem we have already raised to SAP and they have given a solution.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
what they
Yes.
will do, they will simply ping you offline on Teams, or they'll casually give a call. They will tell, I'm trying to do this I'm not able to get it.
Yeah.
So offline they
The
will ask
client,
like, yes,
Ajay, like a client having access for SPRO from the client side?
they'll not have SPRO. SPRO is only with the
Okay.
consultant.
So, okay, what about like suppose there is implementation partner, there is one team, and the client side there is one team. Even though in the client side they don't have access for the SPRO, because in US they're having dedicated team from the client side also and
That
from
is
the
called
implementation partner.
in-house IT team. They are not
So,
end users. In client
huh,
also there are consultants. These are called
yeah.
as in-house SAP team. Then they will have the SPRO access. Their role is consultant role.
Okay, and in that case, what will be happen? The client side consultant messed up with the config.
If they are able
How the
to fix
implementation
it,
partner?
they will do it. If they are unable to fix it, they
Huh.
will send it to their support partner, whoever is supporting or whoever is providing service to them. If it is something
Okay,
that
so
you can
here,
figure
like
out
you
from your
say, like,
side, if it is something you
huh,
can figure out from your side, you will fix it from your side, going to SPRO and all. If you are not sure
okay,
that how to do this, or you have done something, it is not working, you will send it to your support
huh.
partner, or whoever is supporting from India or wherever, they will fix it.
Hmm. So you saying there is a dual control for the SPRO from the both side?
No, either you do it or they do it. Only one person. Config cannot be done by two.
Okay, so there is a like, how will get to know, like, suppose when the client side, like, consultant do any mistakes in config or he messed up with config, um, so It will be conflict. Is that right? Means how they control.
Because let's say I am the supporting
Suppose.
partner, you are the in-house consultant.
Yeah.
I will not do any configuration unless you instruct me, unless you raise a request to me.
Okay.
Okay, and whatever you are working internally, you will not be giving that task to me because according to you, you are working on it. Correct?
Yes.
And when you feel that you are unable to fix it or you are unable to configure it or it is not working as expected, that is where you are going to inform to me that this is what I have done and this is not
Hmm.
working as expected. So when you give this to me, you are going to explain me what you have done so far.
Okay, got it. So here in US, most of the companies having in-house team now. We say like client side, and that's the reason I asked you.
Just nowadays, most of the clients are adopting the same because they are hiring one or two in-house consultants to manage at least the day-to-day common issues, basic issues.
For every module, they are keeping one consultant. I saw the Parker and Robert Bosch. Ford, they're having in-house team.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ajay.
Yeah.
Uh, Sir, what is e-invoice, eBay billing, clear tax, sir?
E-invoice is nothing but sending invoicing to the customer remotely. Let's say you did a sale to a customer and you are not giving physical copy of the invoice to the customer. The moment you complete the billing, invoice copy is automatically sent to the customer email ID.
It only applicable through sales only, sir, not purchases.
For purchases, this is your VIM, vendor invoice management.
Okay, okay, okay. Please tell me,
Sir,
sir, regarding
Yeah.
e-invoice.
What is the
e-invoice,
other?
eBay
sir,
billing, sir.
e-invoice, no,
Go ahead. Go
e-invoice
ahead.
is not sending the customer on electronic way, no, sir. It is uploading to the government website and taking some transport QR code and IR code and some unique specific number will get updated on the invoice copy. So if someone caught in the middle, if they scan, they will come to know it is updated in the government website and legally approved. So for that reason, we use e-invoice in India, sir.
Yes, that is also a reason. Correct.
That is called
This is
e-way bill, right?
E-way bill, yeah, e-way bill, e-invoice.
Yeah, e-way bill is different and e-invoice is different. For
Mhm.
to raise an e-way bill, there are some conditions that invoice amount should be at more than
2 crores.
50,000. There are some conditions. Based on that, we will raise the e-way bill. Every invoice can't be you know e-invoice and e-way bill.
If the organization having turnover around 2 crores right now in India, so they must implement e-invoice as of I think as of I know. So what is the procedure, sir, for that? What is the FI role there?
this e-invoicing.
Yes, sir.
The
20
e-invoicing as an FI, we will be involved. This is a technical involvement because there is something called interface. Because you need to submit the document or you need to fetch the document. As a functional, you have to provide all the logical inputs to the technical team. How the data will be extracted and on what basis it has to be read.
Okay. So
And
we
the
need to get
technical
the license.
consultants,
Yes.
technical team, they will create the connections and they'll make the relevant config or settings programs to send or they receive the data between the two different servers.
So you talking about EDI process, Ajay, to send the invoice to
Similar.
the customer?
Yeah.
Okay.
For that we need to buy SAP products, sir, e-invoice.
Not specifically e-invoice. You can use third-party tools also. And then
What are the third party tools, sir?
that I need to check and tell what exactly are used in this process because I've not worked on this e-invoicing. All I know is only the basic process of it, but I can provide you the details how it exactly works.
Yes, sir, sure. Sir, what is clear tax, sir?
Clear tax.
Yes, sir.
No, I have no idea what is. I have to check this. Let me list
Sure.
out.
Okay, okay. Clear tax, e-invoice, e-way billing, sir.
One sec. Let me list out so that I'll explain it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Better, sir. I heard that we need to buy license from SAP or third party. May I know which are the third parties providers and how many months it will take to implement and testing configuration everything.
Are these three correct? Clear tax, e-invoice,
Yes,
e-way bill.
yes, sir. Correct, sir. All three.
Okay.
So which modules are interacted here? That also we need to discuss some.
Okay, I'll explain.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, two vendors is
Sir,
there.
in the domestic country, sir, we want this e-invoice in domestic India only.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, e-way bill, this is only government is providing one site, sir, just to goods movementing purpose, sir, only just attaching the invoice, just raising the e-way bill and send for one state to another state purpose. So it is not FA related, na, sir.
Yes, but we will discuss in general the process of it so that we will understand whether there is any role of FI or there is no role.
I think no role. I think we are not paying any amount also, sir. I think.
Yeah.
But in our case, they are sending to FI teams, sir, like this process. We are approaching to, we are connecting with the base ABAP team, but we are still not getting any idea how to do, how
Okay.
to purchase, how to do all.
This is already implemented in your project?
No, sir, no, sir, not yet. Need to implement, sir. Need to implement. We have given
Okay.
3 months of time, but I don't know anything. My super senior has given the time and all, and we need to give the quotation also. How we can charge, how much amount we can charge. We need all the informations.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Saket, you have something?
Yes, sir. Sir, one of my GL account is not getting converted into OpenAtom. I tried it 4 or 5 times, but it is not working. Four got converted, one is not getting converted.
What is your GL account?
Uh, Bank outgoing, sir. 124 times 012.
Company code?
SBIN.
SBIN?
Yes.
There is, what is this program? This one. This is your GL account,
Yes.
SBIN, and this is posted in which month? First entry is there in 5th month. So you'll have to take essay document type, click on execute. This timeout. One sec, it's getting reconnected.
So we should enter the date, sir, before the first transaction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll show this now. Let it's loading. This back. You're not giving date or you are giving date?
I was not giving date, sir. For the rest, I entered. I tried without giving date, so it worked. So I didn't enter any date.
No, if you in the others you had entries.
No, I believe so, not, sir.
If the entries are there, you need to give the date because date will determine system to understand from what entries you need to pick up.
Okay.
Because you may be having, let's say, FHELL03. I take this. You have around 19 entries. Some entries are posted on 29th, some are on 10th, some are on 12th, some are on 13, 16, 1. Correct? Huh?
Yes.
Now, if I don't specify any date, system will not determine any date. So it will not convert. So it will expect you to give me the date from which I want to convert. Based on the date, it will identify how many open items are there at that key date. Accordingly, it is going to convert. You
So,
put
sir, here the first posting date is 2905. So, which date are we supposed to enter in that as a 38 screen? It will be April or May.
that first month closing date you can take. What is this?
Okay.
12 all zeros 12. SBIN. I'm taking that first month closing date in which the entries are recorded.
Okay.
Let me do a test run. It is telling period 5 is not open. SIOL. Go to OB52. Keep period 5 open. Now come back here. Redo this. Now you see everything is green.
Yes.
Now you just go back. Remove the test run. Execute in background. LP01 printer. Continue. Immediate. Save this. Now just refresh this. It has become open item.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Clear? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, how do you
Okay.
search a string?
How do
Search, search a string,
search
sir.
search string is like if you want to apply any uh, specific logic. Let's say if you take this entry, we are using for NCHG charges. You have only one transaction type in the statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in the charges, let's say you have different type of charges. Let's say bank charges, interest charges, late payment fees, or any other. So your expenses may be multiple.
Yes, sir.
As per the standard configuration, at one transaction type, you can map only one accounting entry. Is this right? One
Yes, sir.
posting rule, one accounting entry. Now for NCHG, I cannot assign multiple entries. I can assign only a single entry. But my requirement is using NCHG, I want to debit 10 different GL accounts. So in standard, you can debit only a single account, but your requirement is to debit 10 different GL account based on the different function. Now in your bank statement, at the tag 86, system is going to clearly mention, your bank will clearly tell, this is late payment fees, or this is DD charges, this is your interest payment, or this is check bounce charges, something like that. These
Yes, sir.
keywords will be there on your tag 86. Based on this tag 86 note to payee keywords, you will be defining a search string. With this search string, you can determine whatever you want, like separate posting rule, separate GL account, separate cost center, profit center, all this. We will configure it shortly. There you will understand where exactly and why we will use it. Clear?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, what is the usage of FEBN, sir?
FABAN?
If yes, sir. If my MBRS is getting successful, then why actually it is required?
Let's say when you are processing, you have processed it. Since you processed it, you know that it is processed. Now I want to check for review purpose whether the last statement is processed, what is the before statement, what is the statement number, what is the statement closing balance, how many entries are there. I cannot every time depend on you, or I don't want you to tell me every time, right?
Yes.
If I want to check if a particular statement is processed or not, and in that how many entries were there, whether everything is processed or not, I can verify that through FABAN. This is kind of a report for your bank statement,
Okay.
whether it is manual or electronic. Once the statement is processed, whether the entries are processed or not, if you want to check, you'll have to go through FABAN.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, for example, one invoice amount is 20,000, and we make it three partial payment. First partial payment is 10,000, and second partial payment is 4,000, and last and third payment is sir for 6,500. When we make this 605,000, this excess amount, how we adjust in on account payment? At that time we select partial payment tab or standard tab, sir.
First payment is how much?
Sir, for example, first payment 4,000.
Okay.
Second also 4.
Okay.
Last payment is 2,500.
Below this, you are getting 500 excess payment.
Yes, sir.
Now, what you will do here is, this will be 2000, so that this invoice will get cleared. And the balance 500, whatever you have, this will go on account. This is invoice part payment. This is invoice part payment. This is invoice. This is your on account payment. So here you'll go to part payment tab. Here also part payment. Here also part payment. This is your charge of difference or difference posting. You have two options on the screen. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
So when you click on charge of difference, you need to take, if it is a debit balance, you charge it to debit. If it is a credit balance, charge it to credit. If you want to charge off this difference to the same customer account, put the same customer. If you want to move it to any other account, you can put that respective account. Clear? Huh?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Sir, another question is in every interview I got question. What is your business process in accounts payable or accounts receivable or asset accounting? Sir, what should be the answer?
So you have to tell your accounts payable how they are purchasing, because AP is all about purchasing. You need to talk about that they purchase locally and internationally. For local, you say that this is called as local purchases, for which they will create a purchase order. For for foreign purchases or for import, it is again a different process. This is also again through purchase orders. And you also have intercompany purchases or intra-department purchases, which is nothing but your intercompany purchase orders, STOs, stock transport orders. And here you will tell that the client will be purchasing goods and services, and the purchases are categorized into the consumable purchases, your asset purchases, your inventory or material purchases. And then from there you need to talk about the accounting entries. In short, they want to hear the business process with the integration elements. Like you will have different type of vendors, all this process you need to include there. What kind of reports they are using, how they are making payments to the suppliers. This is all your business process. Right from master creation until the payment settlement, whatever is happening, you need to include there. So this includes both your accounts payable from the FI point of view, normal FB60 invoice posting credit memo, and your PO related posting also. You should also include what kind of reports are using, normal line item report, balance report, aging reports. If they are also charging any interest calculations, like sometimes if you make late payment, vendors will charge interest. Correct? Huh? These
Yes,
points
sir.
also you may have to include. You can also include the discounts, payment terms, retentions, automatic payment program. These points you need to include. But you need to make sure you are explaining the process in a flow. So for that, first you need to list out what you are going to talk. If you get the same question, if you're talking about what is the accounts payable process. Now, this question is specific to one of your project in your resume, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you need to take that in my previous client or in my previous project. This is what the accounts payable process. So you need to relate it to with your previous project and then explain. If you're talking in a generic way, then they will not be convinced. Now, this is a personalized question related to your project, and your answer should also be personalized related to project.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Oh,
Hello, sir.
yes.
Sir, can we do partial dunning, sir? Sir, partial dunning, sir.
Partial dunning.
Suppose the
No.
invoice is 10,000
Hmm.
and we have received like 4,000 and 6,000 is balance. So when we done it picking full amount, 10,000.
There we need to check. It will also pick your this one, the other document types. There we need to check what document types are getting picked up. There are certain config exceptions there that I will check and tell you. You can handle this
Okay.
scenario.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me list out this also here. Where did I write? Okay. What are all this here? Fine. Okay. Any other points?
Ajay, did you show like customer aging report and vendor aging report? Because I'm new in this batch?
Aging report we have not done yet because there are standard aging reports. If I go to accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, information system, reports, not this one. There is one report. Normally we customize that report through report painter, but there is one report. This is your payment history. Can somebody find aging report T code for China? Somebody Google vendor aging report for China. Tools,
Actually,
environment.
in interview, they ask
Oh,
what kind of reports did you work on? So can you list out the reports they are expecting in the real time?
The standard reports is what they basically check from you, that whether you're able to talk about the reports that are used on GL on a daily basis, customer, vendor, fixed asset, taxation, any other specific reports that you've developed or that were used by your client. But when you talk about, when you get this question, the answer is expected in such a way that you are able to list out the reports based on the business process. If you're talking about GL, what kind of reports you are using in GL? Let's say GL line item, GL balance report, GL line item browser report, trial balance, P&L, balance sheet. If there are any other specific report, let's say you're creating a report for monitoring cash balances, bank balances, for the customer vendor, GRIR clearing reports, or your goods in transit report, aging reports for the customer vendor, outstanding report, and the customer statement of account, vendor statement of account, for asset register, asset history, depreciation forecast. All these kind of reports they will be expecting you to explain. But they just wanted to
Okay.
check whether you are aware of the basic standard reports that are used in each business process or not.
And what about this report painter you mentioned actually? Because I'm seeing the requirement, did you work on the report painter? And they asked, did you work on the R2R, record to reporter? So this is like a different tools for the reporting
No, no.
or
R2R is normal the process from your recording a transaction until the reporting. It includes everything. Report painter is like a basic report painter tool wherein without the help of any ABAP consultant, you can design small reports. It's like pivot table. You have the data and you wanted to organize the data in the row and column format.
okay. So do you saying like in R2R ABAPers are involved?
No, no, no. R2R is purely finance.
So this is a different tool because
No,
I
R2R
saw
is a process. You know what is P2P, right?
I know P2P. So
You know what
R2R
is
is also the
O2C.
yes.
R2R is like all together, P2P, OTC, everything is together. Like from your GL posting until the reporting, everything is your R2R, record to report.
Where I can see in the on the system.
No, it is not specific. It includes everything, R2R.
So
It includes
they
your
are
GL,
using,
AP, AR.
okay, they use some tool, how they
No,
config,
no,
that's my
no tool. It is not, there is no tool for it. It is just a process from the time of recording a transaction until it gets into a reporting, like your final reporting, like TB, P&L, balance sheet. Whatever happens, that is what is your R2R.
Okay, so where they're creating like in Excel sheet,
No,
how
no,
it,
no. R2R is a separated team. Let's say you are
okay,
working on P2P, wherein you are responsible only for vendor related transactions.
uh,
I am working on O2C. I am related only for customer related transaction. Somebody is
hmm.
working on R2R. He is responsible for consolidating your P2P data, my OTC data.
So there is a requirement like they involving, did you work on 2 hour? I didn't mention in my profile because I don't know about the R2R.
Because R2R is not a specific process. It's a combining multiple
Okay.
process for reporting purpose.
So there is like a separate consultant on working on R2R?
No, 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 no consultant. These are end user areas.
Oh, end user
They just want
areas.
to check if you are aware of these processes, you are supporting any clients on these areas and all. That is what their expectation.
Okay.
Uh, Ajay, if possible, can we discuss about the customized reports? Same question I faced here one of my interviews. They are
Okay.
asking me, did you work on any customized reports, and what was the difficult situation you faced in your project? What is the gaps you faced in your project? These are
I
the
will share
questions
the list
from.
of RISE-F objects, and then we will discuss on each of those objects along with the functional spec. How you will write if you were to write FS on those areas. One or
Yes,
two
Ajay.
forms, one or two workflows,
Yeah.
BDC uploads or BDC processing, and custom reports, any Z tables that we developed. These points I'll share at least 2 or 3 in each element, one or two forms. Forms you can easily, you can straight away tell check you've generated and you've
Mm.
generated a payment advice.
Yes, Ajay.
And you can
So
also tell that you have also generated invoice copy, the direct, the customer invoice. If you make any sale directly to the customer without any sales order. So your SD
Okay.
consultant will not involve here. As a FICO consultant, you need to get this direct invoice copy printed.
Okay.
And if you are also giving any credit note or the payment receipt to the customer, let's say customer had made amount or payment to you, the customer will expect a confirmation receipt, right? That the payment is received against this invoice or whatsoever.
Yes.
So this is another form that you can talk about. And if you talk about workflow, you need to talk about workflow. If there is any workflow you worked, you can tell that you are using park and post functionality, wherein when the document is parked, it will undergo approvals. Approval is nothing but workflow from your RISE-F object. In the RISE-F you have W, right? W stands for workflow. Workflow is your
Yes.
approval mechanism. Somebody is parking a document. When the document is getting parked, it will go for approval. Now, how document is going for approval? You need to maintain approval metrics or the table. So, if the user ID is A, it will go for approval to Mr. B. Only when Mr. B approves, it can be posted to accounting.
Yes.
This is your workflow. For one workflow you can talk about is on the normal JV postings for park and post. Second one, you can also talk about approval or workflow for automatic payment program. Let's say when you create the automatic payment program proposal, you can create approval there, workflow there. So unless and until your payment proposal is approved, you cannot make the payment.
Yes. Yes, Ajay. If we know these things
Ajay, this
in little
patient,
bit, that would be a very advantageous in an interview to explain all these things. Uh,
Yes. I'll show this. Anyway, yesterday evening we discussed this. I think you go through that recording, you'll understand what we are going to do in the upcoming sessions from today onwards. I'll be sharing
Yes,
the
sir.
different documents in 1 or 2 days,
Okay.
like all the sample blueprint, KDS document, configuration document, UT test script, UT test script, master data templates. On these areas, we will be working on all the key processes, not the basics.
Okay, sir.
Key processes, I
And
mean to say, yeah, go ahead.
Ajay, they ask on the interfaces, okay? So where you use the interfaces, and they ask definitely about like the when you use the interfaces um, for the APP program and use for the advice form and correspondence. So did you need we need to mention the what kind of interfaces you use? This is a
For APP,
separately
your interface
middleware.
will be only to the sending payment file. For payment
Yeah.
advice and all,
So
it is not interface. Then you need to talk about which
uh,
tool you have used, what is your middleware, whether you are using iDocs or
that
you're using
yeah,
these
and
points you'll have to tell.
yeah, this kind of question they ask, and definitely what happens. I am getting caught because I don't know these answers, and um,
I will give
I need
three,
the
four interface list and I'll explain you
uh,
what are the basic points in it. What is middleware? What is your API? How you sent data? How did you receive the data? What was your input in this? I'll share. I'll give three, four
and I
examples
need the
and then I'll explain those examples.
and I need the information where are we using EDI, body, BAPI, because they specially ask all these kind of questions. They never ask the config, but they will definitely ask for the interfaces. And
See,
and
whenever
I'm
you're
get
processing any data in the backend, okay, so that is where you're going to use baddies and BAPIs. This baddie and BAPI is not used by the functional; these are used by the technical consultant. Let's say your intention is
so
to
they
create a master
the
data.
same time that is what the same time they're asking, did you work on the BAPI body with ABAPers on which functionality? That's kind of question they ask.
Yes.
And I have can you speak more because he like mostly client are expecting like talk with the client and like they are most looking the answer on this kind of questions, papi body, where you work with ABAPers, what is your role, rise safe objects, and CR process. So I'm getting caught over there in interfaces because I don't have idea at all. Like 3 interviews and they are just speaks about all the interfaces.
Let's say, for example, you have a requirement wherein you want to create transaction data. Okay, you wanted to
Hmm.
create a transaction data. In short, you wanted to upload the transactions. Let's say
Yes.
this is a specific transaction that your client wants to upload. For example, your client is uploading GL transactions wherein your posting key is always 40 and 50. Okay, posting key
Hmm.
is always 40 and 50. Your client wants to load these entries. They are posting these entries on a daily basis manually, which is taking a lot of time. Your client says, is there any way we can upload these entries? Now they said that please, we wanted to upload these entries. We are wasting a lot of time. Our productivity is coming down. Give us an upload tool or upload template so that we will fill the data, we will load, entries will get processed automatically. In this case, what you need to do, you need to create a JV upload. This is normally called as JV upload, journal voucher upload. For this JV upload, normally we use something called BDC. You must have heard a term called BDC.
Yes, I heard.
So this BDC is nothing but batch data conversion, something is the full form. So which will process the data at mass level. When you create this, point number one, you can go through a recording. When I say you can go through a recording, I will have to record the screen in which the data is recorded, in which the data is entered. Let's say the JV is posted
So
using
here,
f-02.
So FI consultant need to give the logic here to the ABAPers, how to write down, how it works
Here,
like.
Sir,
this is
for
where your
balance,
client is currently posting the entry. Point number one, when you're
Mm.
creating the transaction, you can use a recording. So what you will do, you'll go to SHTB. If you go to SHTB, you will find a transaction recorder. This is one point where you can use the transaction recording, which
Mm.
means you will record the screen and you will give this recording to the ABAPer. Based on this recording, he will write a code. This is same like your LSMW. The other one,
Okay.
this is the JV posting. For the JV posting, if you tell even in your interview you have used recording, they will put a cross question, why did you use recording? Because for this JV posting, you have standard BAPIS.
no charging in your laptops.
Yeah, it's okay. I can talk on mobile because I'm sitting at
Oh,
some other place where I cannot plug in charge now.
okay, fine. Sir.
Okay, so when you're using these kind of things, you will have standard BAPIS for master data creation, for your transaction data creation. If you wanted to create a GL account, you will find a BAPIS. If you wanted to create transaction posting, you will find a BAPI. So what you will do, you can just Google BAPI for GL document posting, BAPI for cost center creation, BAPI for profit center creation. Try checking for BAPIS for specific masters that you are aware of. Don't search BAPI list in SAP FICO. You will get a big list. You will get confused what to do, what to refer. Specifically search BAPI for accounting document posting, BAPI for vendor invoice, BAPI for vendor payment, something like that. You will get a BAPI. Okay.
Okay.
And similarly, search for master data. Like let's say you wanted to create vendors. Now, not every time you will do the screen recording. SAP will provide the predefined programs, predefined function modules, predefined BAPIs, BADIs, wherein the ABAP consultant can easily go and write their coding. But here, ABAP
Okay.
consultant can also figure out what is the BAPI, what is the BADI for it. If it is BADI, ABAP will figure it out. BADI you cannot find out. If it is BAPI, you need to provide. If it is function module or any BADI, any exit, this is figured out by the ABAP consultant. Because that
So
comes in the
body,
programming level.
okay, body works, ABAPers work in BAPI. We need to work. We need to give the logic to them.
No, BAPI does not require any logic. BAPI is
Okay.
kind of a predefined program. In BAPI, you need to tell them what is the data to be processed to test. Let's say BAPI will give you all the fields that are available here. Now, to do a testing, which fields you need to fill up in this? Do I need to fill up document date? If yes, what is the date I need to take? What do I need to fill document type? Yes. Which document type? We are FICO consultant. We know what date to mention. We are FICO consultant. We know what document type to be used. But will this information known to the ABAP consultant which one to be mentioned? No, right?
No.
So that is where he will ask the test data. He will, with the help of BAPI, he will get all the fields listed out. All the fields will be listed out in his screen the moment he open or he will check that BAPI. In that BAPI, what information you want me to pass, he will ask. So accordingly, he will take only those fields. He will give you a upload template. Now you will find a lot of fields on the screen, but not everything is applicable. Correct?
Yes.
Whatever the field is applicable, only those field names you need to provide. For that, you need to go to SE11, SE11. If you go to SE11 and if you pass the table, when you post any accounting document, you will find two segments. One is the header segment, the other one is line item segment. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Now the header segment will get recorded in BKPF table, line item segment will get recorded in BSEG table. Now you need to tell in BKPF table what fields you want to capture and what is the length of each field. Similarly from the BSEG, what fields you want to capture, what will be the length. Because BAPI contains the complete information. When you give the logic, like these are the fields that are to be there on the upload file, only those fields he will take into the input screen. The remaining fields he will ignore it. So when you test the data, your Excel sheet or your template is going to contain only the fields which are relevant for your requirement.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show some sample uploaded templates also, because BAPIs and all we cannot test because that is something to be handled by the ABAP. But I'll tell you how you will find out a BAPI, how you will provide BAPI to the ABAP consultant, and how you can test BAPI from your side. We can also test BAPI from our side whether it is working fine or not.
Okay. So I just need the list, like what kind of BAPI bodies were we using it, what kind of interfaces. Because I got over there, like, and they asked, like, they never ask config or anything. They ask this kind of interfaces where you work. They ask only on the reports, and it's very difficult to answer because we don't have any videos where to answer, where to find out. Still, I'm not getting question. I don't know the answer. That's what the situation over here.
Okay, no
When I'm
problem. We'll
getting only
discuss.
question. Yeah. Thank you, Ajay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Answers need some support ticket also for interview purpose.
Support tickets, I've already informed our people who are already working on SAP FICO, they will be sharing it. Maybe by Monday you will have around 20-30 support tickets.
Okay, sir.
Okay, whatever the tickets that we have, many people in our group who are working as consultants. I've informed few people to list out the support tickets along with the solution what they did. So I'll bring them, make them talk about the support ticket, how they received the ticket, what they did, how did they communicate with the user and all. The same way you will also explain in your interview, so that if I tell about these tickets, I'll be telling in a generic way to make you understand. When I make the person who actually worked on this ticket explain, he will practically tell you his experience.
Yes, sir. And also, sir, in the interview, we got some question about ticketing tools, how ticket will assign and process. This thing also they ask also.
This, for this point number one, you can tell you are not using any ticketing tool, you are using email functionality. The second one is Jira tool and ServiceNow. For Jira tool and ServiceNow, I've informed one guy who is actually working on these tools. He will be explaining us. He's already making some document. He'll explain on this. I think we've Manoj. I think that work in progress, right?
Ajay, what is a charm tool?
Charm is also the same one. Charm is part of your solution manager.
So we saving the documents on the solution manager,
Yes.
No, that's a
the
ticketing tool.
blueprint and
Solution
everything.
manager. No, we will not be storing that. For that, every client will have the shared folder. A repository will be created. There they will place all the documents.
Sir, one of our client we are using Solman, and we are giving configuration document and attaching testing document and all, sir, in Solman.
Yeah, in any ticketing tool, you will have the
Charm
option
is
to
a change
attach.
request management. So for charm changes, we use Charm, and we are uploading all configuration and testing document. With that only they will approve and they will move to another steps.
Correct.
Oh,
In
for the
Charms, you
TR process.
will your
Yeah.
TR everything will be integrated with your Charms. If you create any Charms request, it will automatically generate a TR. Or whatever the
Okay.
TR you are generating, you will be uploading or you will be updating that in the Charms request, because this is SAP tool.
Yes, sir. Solman.
Yeah. But not most of the clients will use the Charms. Most of the clients will use third-party ticketing tools for the cost effective. Most of the ticketing tools you get, there are different kind of ticketing tools
Yes, sir.
which are most cost effective.
That is a big project they are using Solman, sir. Only one client they are using for I'm shared pool. Shared pool services. I'm supporting multiple multiple clients. Only for one client we have Solman. Remaining other clients we have Service Now, ISP, some internal port, and Service Now, some others we have.
Yeah. So you can also make one document or the process how you're receiving the ticket in that ticketing tool, so that will help our other friends to explain that this is what the ticketing tool they were using to talk confidently.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that is integrated tool, sir. It will be problem if I share. No problem, no, sir.
No, no, no. You don't need to share any screenshot, nothing.
Okay,
It's only the
only
process.
process. Okay,
Only the
fine.
process.
I'll do that, sir.
Yeah. No need of any documentation. It's just that this is the tool, and in this tool we will receive ticket like this, and then here we will go to new options. That is what your interviewer also will ask you. They will ask you, how do you receive the tickets? If you take some XYZ tool, how do you open a ticket in that XYZ tool? Now, how do you
Sure,
send response? Do you send from email or you will send directly from the tool? This kind of a questions they will ask. If you know the process properly, if you are explaining it in a sequential order, nobody will put any cross question.
I know 100% about the ticketing tool, sir. We are using one. We are using so many. For one, I know. When should I give in documents, sir?
Whenever you are ready, you can tell. But we'll be connecting frequently from now on because we'll be approaching, we'll be discussing in a different way.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
I'll prepare the document, sir. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Ajay, what is the Scrum Master role in between implementation partner and client? What
This is
kind of
nothing but a
role?
coordinator. Scrum Master is nothing
Coordinator.
but the coordinator, like who is monitoring what is happening, what is the status of everything, providing status to the consulting team, providing status to the client team. That is what he will do. In short, the project coordinator will be there, right? It is a similar profile.
Okay. Is she handling the tickets or anything like means what the phase of the ticket now? What is the
Yeah, they'll
like?
be checking the status of tickets. How old is the ticket? Are we resolving all the tickets on time? Are there any issues, challenges that we are facing? These kind of a points he will be monitoring.
In that case, if they having the Jira or solution service now's access.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ajay.
Yeah. Okay.
And sir, in system landscape, you cover only development server. Can you cover quality and production, sir?
Quality and production to show.
No, no, no. You
Acha, what you do in that? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That I'll continue. We discussed until development. I understood.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll continue that.
Ajay, I'm sorry, Ajay. If I want to delete the TR in development, is it possible? I can delete the TR because before the release, actually.
It is possible to delete the TR, but it is strictly not recommended to delete any TR. Instead, what you need to do, you need to rename that TR name to do not use.
Okay.
So it is strictly not advisable to delete any TR. You need to change that TR description to do not use, and whatever the changes that you did in that particular TR, you need to revert it with another TR.
Okay.
Yeah.
How to handle the TR? Like suppose we decided the business blueprint itself, naming convention and everything, the
Naming
modules,
convention
then
and
the
all is
TR.
decided at the beginning of the project, and this will be communicated to all the consultants. And every consultant must to follow the naming convention similarly. If you are in the implementation project, let's say your TR description will start from your module. Let's say FI hyphen the module the process. Let's say FI AP configuration. At the end, they might put some identification which tells that this TR belongs to you. Maybe your employee ID or some shortcut code for you. Because
For
every time I
TI,
don't want to
do
open the
do you
TR
have
and then find out who created it.
do you have like a blueprint like that you work on that, like if you like change the company name and just give us details so we can understand
These
what the
blueprints you will
blueprint.
get on the Google. It is exactly the same blueprint that you
No,
will
you
find.
talk. No, you talk.
Whatever the blueprint document that we're talking about SAP FICO, same blueprint documents are a lot in the Google. It is exactly the same.
So they mention for TR2,
TRs are not part
TR
of your blueprint.
sequence and
No, no, no. These are consulting
then
points. Blueprint
a
is your
naming
business
convention for.
process. No.
Okay.
Anything related to consulting activity is not part of your business blueprint. This is the process that is followed in your company. If you are working in, let's say, Wipro has got a different policy process for TRs. If you're working in Deloitte, it has got another process. If you're working in Infosys, Accenture, they might have different process. So this is not specifically related to a particular project. It changes based on the company, based on the client, based on the project, not fixed.
So how to maintain the TR you need to discuss with the client also, is that right?
Not
Because
client. Client is not involved with the TR. It is within your consulting team. Your project manager, they will explain you. This is the sequence that we have to follow, and these are the documentations, these are the formats that we need to follow, so that tomorrow when you prepare a config document or when you prepare anything on your module, if I am working the similar activities from my module, your data, your documentation, my data, my documentation must be relevant. Because if I have to store all the documentation at one place, and I need to submit certain documents to the client, correct?
yes.
And any document that you are submitting to the client must be having the same format. So is in a different format, FI is in a different format, not at all acceptable. So all this documentation and naming a convention are decided, agreed at the beginning of the project itself within the consulting team. In
Which
short, the
team is
project
getting
team.
involved for the
Project
naming
team.
convention? Project team.
Only the project team. Project
And the
manager,
naming
the
convention
team
for
lead, and the consultants.
mm, and naming convention for the company codes, that's a
This
client
is part
decision, is
of
that right?
KDS. Yeah, this is part of key data structures or KDS format.
PDS format. Okay. And Katie, you said you mentioned like a C programming and they are having some different codes for the FI, for the customized report, and for like side and SD side. Something naming convention you mentioned in one of the video, that you said like when they're giving the KT, you need to ask them like a Z code, what Z code
There will
they
be a checklist when you're taking the KT. Your KT
uh,
has got two meanings. One is KT from implementation project to the support project. Like the
okay.
implementation consultants will be providing a KT to the support consultants. In this KT, what you need to do, there will be a document checklist.
Uh,
You need to make sure all the implementation documentation is received. Like you have got the blueprint document, you have got a KDS document, BPML document, user manuals, UT test script, UAT test script, and the issue list from the hypercare. What is the scope objects? What are the RISEF objects that were there? Any open tickets as of now? Any pending deliverables? And the process-wise understanding. All this checklist, if I am giving a KT, you are receiving a KT. I am the implementation FICO consultant, you are going to be the support FICO consultant. So in the KT session, we will make sure that I will explain all the points to you, and once I explain all the points, once I will share all the documentation with you, I will be sending an email to you officially. Dear XYZ, as per our KT sessions, the below points have been discussed and the documents have been provided. Let's say all the business processes have been explained. The below documents have been shared: blueprint, KDS document, BPML, role metrics, rise of objects, open ticket list, or the change request list, whatever. And for this email, you have to officially acknowledge, yes, dear Ajay, yes, Yes, the KT and the documentations has been received. With this email only, I will be released from my project. If you are not telling that I did not receive KT, I did not receive this document, that document, my project manager will not release me from the project. And once you officially confirm that the KT is completed, you received all the documentation, you cannot say, I do not know this, he did not tell me this. Because now it becomes official that you understood the business process about the client, you have got all the documentation to refer in case if you are stuck somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajay.
yeah. All right, any other questions? All right, then let me stop the recording if there are no questions.